All right, welcome to Wonprompt Studio. Today we're going to be talking about how exactly to make a scene. So our last discussion was on personalities. I've created another personality here, the Vice President of Marketing. These can obviously be used for personal or for business use. So this is an example of an influencer where it's mixed. After I created two personalities, which is my recommendation for minimum, then we go to a scene. In the scene library, you can imagine this is like you are creating the basis of what your artificial intelligence conversations are going to be around. So let's talk about gaining influence and affiliates. That's going to be the name of my scene. The description is going to be discussions about how to increase followers and gain affiliates for product and SaaS sales. This is again for myself. Hashtags are so that you can find them in the future when you have a lot. And then this is where the personalities come in. So we're going to assign sidekick to personality 1. Personality 2 is going to be Vice President of Marketing. These are going to end up being on the right and left of your screen. Forms we'll get to later. This is not required. And the scene setup prompt. So I am using Wonprompt to set up a prompt to make a scene for using affiliates and the internet to get more followers and sell more products. As I do that, I'm going to show you here. This is the scene prompt. Button text, this is going to be when you actually have your scene, and then you will be able to see what the actual action button says. So that is mostly for when you share this. If you share this scene, prompt example is prompt examples is going to be the examples on your scene. So for instance, now we go to this scene and we are going to use it in a new chat. This is where we go to select scene, gaining influence and affiliates. Our left model is automatically assigned, as we can see up here, with sidekick. And the right model is automatically assigned with VP of Marketing. You see that on the very top. This dropdown allows you to open and close the top menu. You can also give yourself some more space by opening and closing the left. So give me some ideas on gaining more followers. And on the bottom right, you have these 3 buttons, which we are going to show you here. This is your Hopscotch dashboard on the bottom. You have to send as a comparison or as a dialogue first. So a comparison, when we hit the comparison button, your Wonprompt up here will actually send that prompt to 2 different LLMs using your two different personalities and your scene prompt on both, as well as, if you clicked on it, your self-governing prompt. Then you have two different answers to read from. You can either copy and paste these into something else, or you can share this chat and copy it and share it. Once you click copy and share, if you come back in here and then hit unshare, that will then darken this link. So anybody that has it will not be able to use it. Now it is not shareable. Nobody would be able to see that. So if I click share and go back in here, now the link is shareable once again. Once we have a response from two different AIs, we read them both, and then us as the human being decides which one we like better. In this case, we're going to pick minstrel. Now that means that we've started a new chain and line of communication only using the minstrel prompt. So I'd say that's really interesting. Tell me more. Now, if I hit the dialogue button, what that's going to do is both AIs, LLMs, with their personality and scene prompts and system prompts will actually have a conversation with each other about this. So I would say between the two of you, figure out the best next strategy for increasing my Instagram by 6 followers this week who are real, engaged in the content, and make their own user-generated content. Give me one action point so I can go out in the world today and live my life. So now that we have a dialogue, from dialogue, we can go to dialogue forward into another dialogue and continue the dialogue by bringing our own thought into this conversation. So as you can see now from this one prompt here, we now have a conversation between ourselves and the AIs. At any point that we share, it shares from the point that we are at. And then I'd say, oh, okay, let's say this says focus 20 minutes on reels. So I'd say I only want to focus 10 minutes today. Tell me how to do that. All right. And then from there, we can go into comparison mode. While at any point, it's important to remember that you can always come and switch your models. So here we are going to switch our models. But in order to move forward, we still have to choose, just like climbing a tree and going out on a very specific branch, we still have to choose the response that we want to use. So in this case, we're going to do what ChatGPT suggests here, but we're going to ask it to ask Grok. What if I wanted to do just 9 minutes today? So we ask Grok, and here we can send it as a comparison. We can send it as a dialogue, or we can send it as a single. So I'm just going to try this one as a single. This one goes to GPT 5.4 mini because GPT 5.4 mini was chosen. But we want it to send it to 2 Groks. So we have to use comparison for that. Oh, but Grok is not working right now. So we stop generating. And we go to Claude. Let's try Claude. Let's try Claude and a Google. Great. Claude and Google. Now Claude and Google are having our discussion, giving us 2 comparisons to choose from. Let's say that we like the one on the right from Google. We choose this one. We say, okay, thanks. I want to get outside and go on a walk. I'll make the video. And here I want to send it as a single just to Gemini. And we'll see what Gemini says. Gemini says, great, excellent. And that is our introduction to Hopscotch.